before my eyes, watching all this time slip by. Now I realize, you know I've been waiting. 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 You know I've been waiting, 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 waiting. But will you wait for me?
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So you just went ahead and pulled the trigger on your very first E46 and you're looking to modify it, but you don't know where to start. Well, you guys have stumbled to the right place. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my top list on the best beginner mods for your E46. And I call these mods beginners mods because any of these mods on this list will greatly increase the experience you have with your E46 considering its stock, and you honestly can't go wrong getting any of these mods installed on your car. So without further ado, let's head on straight into the video. Well, first things first, before you go ahead and start modifying your E46, and if you just picked one up especially, please make sure the car's in good working order. Make sure the maintenance is up to date. Make sure it's not leaking any oil, any coolant. Make sure there's no vacuum leaks or stuff like that. Because I can almost guarantee you, if you just picked up an E46, there's at least one or two or a couple things that the car needs attention to. But with that being said, the very first mod I can recommend for a beginner is definitely gonna have to go to a halo kit. So from what I know from the factory, E46s actually never came with factory halo eyes, or also known as angel eyes. And with a halo kit installed on your car, you're just gonna greatly increase the front end look of your E46, completely modernize it, and on top of that, just give it that classic BMW look. In terms of options for the kit, there's a lot of options you can go with. It also varies on fitment depending on which E46 you have in specific. Either if you have a coupe or sedan, or a pre-facelift or a facelift model. I also know in Europe, there's also models like the E46 Compact, which never came to North America. The kits also vary in what specific features you want. If you just want it to shine white, or if you want it to shine with your signals, or if you want RGB. There's specific different styles. You get single LED ones, you get cotton ones. There's literally endless amount of options in terms of your halo kits for an E46. If you guys want to spice things up, you can also go ahead and pick up a F-Series style angel eye kit and retrofit it onto your E46, which I did myself. You can check out the video on my channel if you guys want, if you're interested. And in my opinion, this is definitely my favorite style of angel eye kit you could probably get on your E46 because it just brings it so much closer to the modern side of BMW versus the classic side of BMW. But at the end of the day, it obviously depends on your personal taste. Next beginner's mod I'd highly suggest is any sort of exhaust modification. So in terms of your exhaust, there's almost an endless amount of different combinations or different styles or different kits you can go with, or different brands that make kits for the E46. And it also depends what route you want to go. Either you want a custom exhaust done at an exhaust shop, or you can just get a direct bolt-on kit. But definitely suggest going on YouTube and searching up exhaust videos of the specific exhaust you're looking at just to hear some sound clips before you go ahead and get it installed. If you're on a budget, I highly just recommend going out and getting your muffler deleted or one of your resonators deleted, because just a simple muffler or resonator delete can do a big difference to your exhaust note and just increase the driving experience of your car by a lot. Or if you guys have a bit more money and you really want a unique tone out of your E46's exhaust, I'll definitely go ahead and get a bolt-on kit. Whether that bolt-on kit is from the axle back or the cap back, and some of my personal favorite brands being Denon, Corsa, Magnaflow, and Borla. All those brands being slightly more on the expensive side, but they make some good sounding exhaust and the parts are super high quality. If you want to get creative and go the custom exhaust route, which is the route I personally took, because for me, I really wanted a single exit setup for my E46, but as a lot of you guys know from the factory, these E46s from the headers all the way to the back of the car have a dual pipe setup. But for my car in specific, I'm running catless eBay headers, which goes into a Y pipe, which then goes into an ultra quiet vibrant resonator, and then all the way at the back, I have a 4-inch Greddy performance muffler. Here's a very quick sound clip. The next beginner's mod on this list that I feel like would make the biggest difference to your experience with the E46 would definitely have to be an Android head unit. For an E46 with a mid-2000s interior, an Android head unit is just a massive way to update your car's interior. So just like newer head units in most cars, this gives you full Bluetooth capabilities with options like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. One of the massive perks of an Android head unit is that it runs on Android OS, which basically means it has all the features of a typical Android tablet. So basically you can head into the Play Store and basically download any app you want like Facebook, Instagram, Netflix, Prime Video. Also download scanning apps that connect straight to your OBD port with one of those Bluetooth adapters. You can also store music on it, pictures, movies. Possibilities are literally endless with an Android head unit. And one of the ways how I actually utilized my Android head unit was that I downloaded all the apps that control my Starlight kit, my ambient lighting kit in my dash, and on top of that, my Halo kit. So basically, I could just control all the lights through my center console. The Android head unit, in my opinion, is probably one of the best interior mods you could do to your E46. So the next mod on this list is definitely gonna have to be what wheel and suspension setup you wanna run on your car. So depending on what wheel and suspension setup you run in your car, this is going to make a massive difference in the way your car drives, but as well, how your car looks. So in terms of your rim setup, it fully depends on what style you're looking for in specific, and in general, what type of theme you're going for the look of your car. So some of my personal favorite brands and styles would definitely have to be basically any spec of the Rota Grid Drift rims, which in my opinion look really nice and they really give that car the more JDM tuner type look. Another style and brand I really like are the BBS LMs, and those in my opinion just give the car a really nice looking lowrider stance and just overall look really cool and just like a classy nice look. My personal favorite and what I run on my car are actually original M3 CSL rims, which are actually co-built by BBS. I got mine refinished in black, but in my opinion, they just give the E46 chassis such a sporty and aggressive look. And on top of that, honestly can't go wrong getting an OEM set of rims. So in terms of suspension, this is definitely what's going to change the quality of your ride the most. In general, you have three options. You could either go with springs, coilovers, or air suspension. And honestly, at the end of the day, it just depends what you plan to do with your car. If you plan to take your car to the track or drift it, then coilovers are definitely the way to go. If you daily your car, like you drive it every day and you just want your car to have that nice lower stance, and springs are probably the way to go. And if you're building a straight show car and you want your car slammed to the ground at times and then sometimes you want to raise it up, then air suspension is probably the way to go for that. So at the end of the day, whichever route you take, you really just have to do your research. You have to go through some forums, get a lot of information, and just pick out the best suspension setup that you feel like would be best for you. And me personally, I've only ever been daily driving my car. I don't really take it to the track. I don't really take it drifting. So I've only ever ran springs on this car, and the only brand I can really suggest for me that I've had are Eibach springs. I've ran the Proline kit from Eibach on my last 330 and on this one, and honestly overall I've just had a good experience with them. The ride quality stays basically OEM, and you just get that nice drop and the car just feels slightly more planted in the corners. And if there's any good coilover kits that you guys know or you guys have experience with, just leave them down in the comments below to help you guys out who are trying to mod your very first E46. Something else that you can also add to your rim/suspension setup are definitely spacers. So depending on what exact setup you're running on your E46, a set of spacers is going to help you fill out that gap between your rim and your fender if you have any left. It's also going to increase the width and track of your car, make your car handle slightly better, and on top of that, just make your car stance look so much better. So the next mod on this list is definitely going to have to go to swapping out your interior trim. So in terms of your interior trim, you do have a couple options. You could go online and find a set that basically completely replaces the interior trim you have in your car already. Or you could go ahead and just get it wrapped. Or you could also pick up some 4D trim covers, which basically just a stick-on piece that you stick onto the trim and basically changes the look of it. At the end of the day, it basically just depends what route you want to go with and what style you want. So for my car personally, my car came equipped with the M package. So from the factory, my car does actually have the cubed carbon fiber trim. And if you guys are wondering what cubed carbon fiber looks like, this is what it looks like from OEM BMW. And so basically doing a mod like this, I feel like just overall increases the sportiness of your car's interior, and on top of that just makes it look a bit more modern. So the last mod on this list is definitely gonna have to go to some LED conversion kits. So a lot of my E46 owners know this, but from the factory, the E46 bulbs all around the car and on the interior are all those old style halogen bulbs, which just give it that yellowish tint. So when you go ahead and convert these bulbs to LED bulbs, it just makes the interior feel so much brighter, so much newer, and so much more modern. And overall, just cleans up the whole look of the interior by a lot. You could also go ahead and change the exterior bulbs to LED as well. So your rear license plate lights, you could also swap those to LED like what I did on mine. You could also go ahead and pick up a set of side marker lights, which you could get in LED, tinted, non-tinted. You could also get them sequential. And on top of that, also your front fog lights and your front headlights. So the same thing applies for the outside of the car too. If you go ahead and do the LED conversion, it just updates the car's look all around, just makes it look cleaner, makes it look more modern, and just freshens things up. And the good thing about the LED conversion kits is that they're super cheap and they're super easy to install. But other than that, guys, I hope this list helped you guys out, especially for those guys who just picked up their very first E46 and they really want to mod it out but they don't know where to start. If you guys have any questions or comments, just leave them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer. And I also went ahead and recently made a new Instagram page, so if you guys want to go ahead and follow that, as I do find it really cool connecting with you guys. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
I've been waiting all my life, and it was right before my eyes, watching all this time slip